first. There used to be a time in this country where political leaders, especially heads of government, were very churlish, if not, let's say, the right word or the politically correct word was being politically correct about show of faith. Has that time gotten over? It's not just Prime Minister Modi, even Rahul Gandhi is doing temple runs these days. Is it okay now in Indian public life to show your faith and be not embarrassed about it or unabashed about it and not churlish about it?
You know, first of all, Jai Mahakal to everybody. And I think this is not just a great moment for all Shiv Bhakts, and this is not just about the restoration of an ancient temple, but more importantly, this is the most momentous and glorious moment in the rejuvenation and revitalization of Indian civilization itself. And much like in the footsteps of Ahilyabai Holkar and Ranoji Shinde, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and look at the 8-year tenure even before when he was Chief Minister, this is not a one-off. This is not a symbolic message. This is something that he truly believes that the higher you want to achieve or grow, you need to have deeper roots, and therefore we are going back to our roots. And what are our roots? Somnath, the restoration of Somnath, it was opposed by the Congress party. Nehru had once said it was Hindu revivalism, had opposed Rajendra Prasad going there. Whether it's Somnath Mandir, whether it's Kedarnath, Badrinath, the Char Dhams, whether it is Kashi Vishwanath Dham, the corridor, whether it's today Ujjain, Mahakal, or whether it is the restoration of temples even in Jammu Kashmir, which were vandalized by in the entire period where terrorism and Islamic forces had taken over the valley. So this is a larger project to revitalize something that is civilizationally ours. Now coming to your question, Zaka, why is it always that if you go for an iftar party, that was considered to be secular, even though you had no faith in iftar, you never kept a roza, but going to iftar is considered to be secular. Saying first right of the resources of the country belongs to one community by the Prime Minister and then reiterated by leaders of that party is considered to be secular. It is secular to say that Shri Ram does not exist and to even challenge his existence on affidavit. But if the Prime Minister wears his culture on his sleeve, then it is considered to be communal or it's considered to be politically incorrect. Let me ask you, the presidents of United States, even today, swear oath not on the Constitution. They swear by God. So that is okay. And by the way, the Prime Minister's vision is not limited to any region or religion. Let me tell you, under the Prasad scheme, I was just seeing what all has been rejuvenated. The Cheraman Juma Masjid, Hazratbal, Ajmer, the St. Thomas Shrine, Velankani Church and St. Luke's Church has been reopened after 3 decades. Okay. So this is about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. And as a Muslim, as a proud Indian Muslim, my heroes and my idols are Sri Ram, are Sri Krishna, are Shiva. So if there is something that is being done to rejuvenate and revitalize that civilizational aspect with which even I associate. Indonesian Muslims, by the way, continue to consider Ram as their icon of history and culture. So, they have not let go of it.
Let me ask Hindol Sengupta, if this is a civilizational project, you can't just see what happened in Mahakal today as some kind of an isolated incident. This has to be seen with what happened at Baba Vishwanath a few months ago, what happened at Kedarnath. The Prime Minister trying to urge the entire country to take pride in who we are as a people and where we came from and what our ancient history is. What does that do to a nation's self-confidence in itself? And what does it do to a nation's collective identity? Because this is, like I said, more than just the inauguration of a temple corridor.
There's a simple answer to that, Zaka. I spent many, many years looking at liberalization and India's economic rise, which is still a large part of my work. But if you look at history, no nation in the world has really risen only economically. That's a myth. If nations succeed only economically, then they do not really rise in the world. Every nation that has really risen ever in the world to a place of prominence, whether it's the United Kingdom or it's America, or you take any country or today China, they have risen on the back of economic success and that and is very important, and a very deep sense of cultural uniqueness. Without that, no nation can really rise. India cannot only hope to be the 5th largest economy today and maybe in a few years, the 3rd largest economy, and have no real cultural mooring. it must know where it comes from to know where it is going. This is something that's not been said by me. Swami Vivekananda said this, that you cannot know where you're going unless you know where you come from. This is fundamental to the rise of India in the committee of nations around the world. Unless we have this cultural confidence, only economics will not get us there. And this project must be understood holistically. Therefore, the rejuvenation of Mahakal today, which is not only a spiritual center, but a great center of science, as I was saying earlier to another show, where does the decimal system come from? It comes from a man called Bhaskara. Where did Bhaskara work? He worked in Ujjain. Where did his master Brahmagupta work? Worked in Ujjain. So unless we have this cultural confidence to really reinvigorate the place of the Ujjain meridian, which was there long before the Greenwich meridian came into being, only economic success will not do it for us. Therefore, if India has to rise, every Indian must understand cultural confidence and economics go hand in hand.
Let me ask a couple